So you can see I've got it all duct taped. The side over here is still a little loose, but we're going to be laying this down like this. And when we go to print, we're actually going to be going from the top down. And since our squeegee is only this wide, we're not going to be going way over here anyway. You can go from left to right, but up and down is the best result. So I'll probably go this way, and then I'll scoot it back up flush, like I said, really lightly, and then hold it again with two hands, the equal pressure on each side, and pull it down really hard to go on that. But I have the very top of it. You can see that I put the duct tape on the top edges all along, up and down, over here in the corners, and then all the way down to in here, all the way up in the sides there as well. I don't really recommend duct tape. I would say use masking tape because it doesn't stick all that well, and there's a less chance that you're going to leave a sticky film on there. But I plan on pulling this up just as soon as we're done, so it doesn't have time to sit there over time. The other thing is, when you're using the ink, the oil is not as big of a concern because it doesn't dry very quickly. But if you have this, the water-based, make sure you wash it off, because again, if you leave it over time, it'll be like the corner of this one has some red in it, and it was really hard to kind of spray it and get some of that stuff out. And if you get this in the middle of the screen, it will prevent that part from ever being able to print on. And you can see on the back the lines that are covered up by the tape. For double security, if you wanted to take tape again and put on the back side of it, when I have masking tape and it's easy to tear, sometimes I'll do that too. But that's this part, and we'll be printing in a moment. Watch your finger though. Okay, so we've got our shirt down. There's a little hole in this one, there's a texture to it. It's an old polo shirt. So I already can tell you it's not going to print like what I want it to print, but just for tutorial wise, and I kind of want to see what it was going to turn out like, so I'm trying it anyway. But even if it is exactly what I wanted, and I've got it, I always do it on another t-shirt first. What I usually do is I have like an old t-shirt that the girls haven't worn for a while, or has a ton of holes in it, and I'll do different sections of it. So I've probably thrown away 2 or 3 shirts now of just doing different, when I was trying to learn, how to pull the ink down and stuff like that. So you can lay this on here, center it, like on this one, whenever I do get it to print, I'm going to put it really low so it sits on the belly. But again, whenever you do get it where you want to print at, feel over this, make sure there's no bumps. And I can tell there's like a ridge right here. So that's actually going to cause me a problem when I print. But that's actually with the cardboard. So there's nothing I can really do with it. The best thing you can do is either have like a countertop or something you can lay it on. In fact, I think I'm going to pull this out and just do it up against the flat wood, because you can see right here that's what's going to mess me up. And since I know this is going to be just a practice run anyway, so let's reset it out again. You can scoot back a little bit, please. Okay. So again, smooth it out really good. Lay your image down where you want it to feel. That's a lot better of a feel. Okay. So you've got your squeegee here.
Squeegee.
That we're going to be pulling down on. And I think I told you before, the 45-degree angle is what they recommend for pulling it down. And you should be able to hear yourself pulling it if you'll listen real close. Like that. And then when you go back up, you kind of lift it up off a little bit and just barely drag it back upward to move the ink on top. And then you grab it again and pull it back down. Pretty hard and intense as you're pulling it to you, but not to go back up. So you dump the paint on top.
What color is that? Oh,
White. And like I said, you can be as sloppy of this as you want, because it's not going to matter. Whatever excess you have left over, you're going to put back in. With the oil base, you don't have that option as much because it comes in a tube from Hobby Lobby. So, and with black, you're probably going to want to make several swipes so you get as dark as possible on there. And let's see here. So once this is down, obviously you don't move it until you're completely done. take this. I'm going to put one hand down here while we're doing it just to go over here. I'm going to start on the left side. Pull down. Go back to the top. Pull down. I like to keep this side clean, so I'm going to turn it around this way to pull the ink back up. And see what that's called, anyway, I forget what it's called. But you can see how it just kind of barely pulls the paint over the image. Then I turn it back around again. I'm going to pull it with two hands this time. Pull it all the way down. Lift it up. Go back to the top. Put it all the way down again. And that's how you know when you're doing your pressures right too. And you can see right now, see these lines right there in the table? How they're going to show up in there. And again, I knew it was going to do that, so it's not a big deal. And we're going to do this one more time. So grab a hold of it. And I'm pulling it straight down, forcing the ink through there. Back to the top, forcing all the ink back through there again. And I'm done. I'm going to lay this here. Come down here a little bit, Lizzie. So, sometimes you'll get ink on your fingertips. Just try to rinse that off before you grab. When I usually grab this, I hold the shirt down here and I take this to put a little bit of pressure when I pull it apart. And I pull it up just like that. And then you have your image on there. Like I said, it didn't quite turn out like what I wanted it to, but I knew that was going to be the case whenever I started. What I was hoping to do was to have like kind of gray images in there. But you can see how the ETA October 21st, here at the very bottom was where I stopped putting so much pressure on it. And then here at the top, it had great pressure on it. You can still see the lines that go through from the unevenness of the table. Let's go back some. But overall, the overall shirt would have been great if it just had wording and a picture of a baby and stuff on there. So anyway, you can see how that works. And if you have any questions, just give me a call. Whenever you're done, by the way, with this part, well, hold on before you stop it, Liz. Go ahead and take this part.
Wait, stop the video?
No.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and start putting this back into, we dropped some there, but we'll pick it up.
After, can I do that thingy again to pull it over there?
Like that. Take as much of the stuff up as you can to put it back in here. And just slide it all like that to get it back in the jar. And then you just make sure, if you got more shirts to do, go ahead and do them right away. Pick up the first shirt, move it along to the next one, so that you can lay this back down. This side, you can see, only has the ink exactly where we put it through to. So there's no hurry, but you can already tell it's going to dry over here. So I'm going to go rinse mine off now, so I don't have to worry about it messing up. Alright, good night.